When WagerTalk acquired the iconic Gold Sheet, the goal was to turn it into a modern, user-friendly product providing high-quality content and data. We're well on our way to achieving just that, and we want to show you how far it's come. From Friday, December 24th through Sunday, January 2nd, enjoy free access to the Gold Sheet. Just head to goldsheet.com and sign in using username free@goldsheet.com and use password free to get access to our NFL, college football, NBA, and college basketball content for the entire week. No credit card, email, or registration is required. Check it out. And if you enjoyed the new and improved Gold Sheet like we know you will, lock in savings now and grab our 2022 football Gold Sheet for just $99. That's right, until January 1st, 2022, we're taking $100 off the regular price of $199. From all of us here at WagerTalk Sports Memo and the Gold Sheet, we wish you a wonderful holiday season and a prosperous new year.
Welcome, everybody, to Wager Talk Today. I'm Lawrence Presman. That handsome freaking dude over there is Teddy Covers. And Theodore, we got a show today, dude. Steve Merril right off the top. You know, in the midst of all the NFL and the college bowl games, Steve, he isolated 2 college basketball bets to talk about: Arkansas, Mississippi State, Nevada, Kansas, and he is going to take a stab at the Mayonnaise Bowl, which, by the way, I am a mayonnaise fanatic. South Carolina, North Carolina, and then Drew Martin. I begged Drew to come on, Teddy. I think I had to pay the guy. He wanted $40,000 for an appearance. We got him down to 20. He's going to talk all 3 bowl games today. What up with you, bro?
Good morning, Lawrence. How are you today?
Teddy. Dude, I just finished puck time with Andrew and Carm. I wasn't at my best. Didn't get a ton of sleep last night, which kind of stinks. But all good, man. All good. Ready to go. What did you learn?
Sure, let's do a little
important?
No, I'm just going to whine, but people talk about, what's the difference between running good and running bad. All right. And obviously as you're betting on a daily basis, sometimes you're winning more games than you should. And other times you're losing more games than you should based on, fourth quarter shenanigans, late game shenanigans. So going into yesterday, I'm literally riding my first NBA hot streak of the season. I'm 83% over the last 7 days. It has not been good for me in November or December. Unfortunately, it's not been good for my clients either. So I got 2 plays last night. They're both up double digits in the fourth quarter. Both of them. 76ers at Raptors, Cavs at Pelicans. The Sixers end up blowing the lead. They end up trailing. They win by only 5, don't cover. Cavs blow the lead. They lose Ricky Rubio to an injury and then lose the game straight up. So one of these days I'll run good for a week or 2, Prez, but unfortunately hasn't happened of late. Last night, particularly frustrating in the NBA, although we did cash with Minnesota in the bowl game last night. So that's what I'm whining about today, Prez. What about you?
Well, yeah, look, I went 1-2 yesterday, and I got super lucky on the Miami Heat game. I put it in at -6.5. It did go to 7 by the end of the day, so most of my clients probably pushed. But, man, how are you up 30 freaking points, and then the game gets so close at the end? Basketball, man, just brutal. My kid went to the Raptors game last night. She texted me throughout the game. Her takeaway from last night's Raptor game was the Asian guy on the Raptors is really, really cute. And there's another guy on the Miami Heat who's really handsome. That was her take. I don't think she knew the score of the game, dude. She literally just drooled at basketball players. And I'm okay with that. Hey, if you're going to give me a grandson, let it be no problem with that. So other than that, watched 3 episodes of Alex Rider last night. Tonight, I am taking the kids, all of them, all 4, to American Underdog, the Kurt Warner story. I'm excited about it, man. I think it's going to be a fun movie.
So I don't know that I'm going to see it because, again, we're old enough to remember the Kurt Warner story when it was actually happening. And the Hollywoodization of an already Hollywoodized story. Yeah, let me know how it is. If it's too schmaltzy, I'm not going to get there. You know.
Well, but it is, dude. I mean, it has to be. And the thing about it is, we might know the story conceptually, but we don't know the details. And ultimately, I'll watch that story, and I really won't know where Hollywood took their liberties or they didn't. But with all that said, it's such an amazing story conceptually. I'm sure they're going to do a great job. I'll give you an update tomorrow.
I can't
Steve
wait.
Merril joining us. Steve, are you going to check that movie out or no?
I don't think I'd go to a movie theater to see it. Are you actually going to see it in the theater? That sounds like a good stay-at-home movie for me. By the way, I watched Alex Rider. We finished that last week, Prez. That's a great series. I highly recommend it.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty
good.
So
wait, Teddy, you got to hold off for a sec. So, Steve, you finished both seasons of Alex Rider. So far, I'm enjoying 2 better than 1.
Yeah, probably. They're both. Yeah, it probably is. It's
got
as good.
More intrigue. Yeah, it's got more intrigue. Did you see Hannah yet?
No, I need a good show. Actually, is that a good one?
Better than Alex Rider.
Ooh,
3 seasons long.
It's funny. I Googled like similar shows to Alex Rider the other week when I finished it because I was looking for something. So that's a good tip.
Yeah, Hannah, it's on Prime. It's 3 seasons. The first season's an absolute masterpiece. So
awesome.
Start that, and I'll ask you next time whether you like it or not. But yeah, I'm going to the theater tonight, dude. Got Teddy and Steve. I'm with you. I'd rather watch it on TV. But man, we got 4 kids. They're bored out of their mind. They got to do something. So that's what
you didn't do Spider-Man? I missed that one.
We did.
My whole family went.
We did Spider-Man last week.
Okay.
Last week was Spider-Man. It was a fun movie. I enjoyed it. Teddy doesn't even know what we're talking about. He's like, movies? What's a movie? Steve, Teddy remember Teddy was sick like 2 weeks ago? He finally got to catch up on movies over the last 10 years that he hasn't seen.
10 years.
It was probably more.
The Joy Luck Club was his choice. Yeah. The Joy Luck Club. I haven't seen. I very rarely see movies where the entire cast are females who are post-menopause. Those movies.
You don't watch all the Hallmark Christmas movies all week, Prez? You don't binge on those?
Yeah. Teddy, did you have anything to say?
It was one of a number of movies that I watched, but Prez clearly was that as soon as I said it, he's like, "What?
Oh, you really saw it? I thought that was a joke. I thought that was Prez doing stand-up.
I was watching some movies. Who cares? I take some movies. I watch them. It's just, when I'm sick, I never watch anything. So I watch the movies.
When I thought he's doing stand-up, he's not even doing stand-up. I can't win.
Steve, thanks for covering me on Monday. Awesome show. Great work. We did have some, I think it was one guy, maybe 2, who suggested that you cover for me a lot. I respect that. Yesterday, Teddy, in the comment section on our show, you got a lot of real positive comments. People are loving Teddy. And, I've always said you are a reflection of the host of the show. So I make all of you guys better. I just make
really
you
love
better.
Teddy Monday, you're saying? Is that what I'm getting at here?
No, they love Teddy every day. Teddy gets a lot of love.
So a couple things here. First, we're the hosts of the show. You're not the host. You and I are the co-hosts of the show.
I set myself up for that.
Yeah. Number 2, thank you guys. I appreciate all the love. I really do. Thirdly, can we please, for the love of God, talk about some games?
There it is.
Or something to do with sports?
Yeah, Teddy's back.
We're still going.
Teddy's back. Teddy is going
too long.
Steve, Teddy's going under the name Alan in the chat room, and Teddy/Alan wrote, "Get the show on the road." So Arkansas, Mississippi State -3.5, 143.5 is the total. Steve Merril, handicap this one for us.
Yeah, Teddy's slipping a bit. I had the over-under at about 30 seconds before he told us to get it on the road, so I'm a little surprised it took that long. Little disappointed there. I'm gonna have to go into the chat like in the name Lance or something and put a negative comment there. But we also had to buy a little bit of time to make sure these games aren't canceled because like half the college basketball games are getting canceled every day it seems. But as of now, last I checked, this game is still being played, and there's actually a lot of good SEC games this evening and tonight, guys, on Wednesday. So it's a really good college basketball card. This one, though, don't miss it because it's been moved from 9 o'clock Eastern to 5 o'clock Eastern for the mighty SEC network, I guess. So maybe they're trying to squeeze it in before they have to do another COVID test this evening. But it does look like this game's going to be played. Scheduled to start earlier, though, at 5 p.m. Eastern at Mississippi State. You know, I talk about using pace when I handicap college basketball, and this is a pretty extreme example of that. And Mississippi State plays really slow. Arkansas likes to play fast with pressure. And I think that style is not going to work on the road. I've always said that home teams can dictate tempo a lot better than road teams. So I look for Mississippi State to slow this game down. We're getting the better defensive team also in a basic straight-up win situation. And both teams are having pretty good seasons overall here. 9-3 Mississippi State, 10-2 Arkansas. But if you look at Arkansas, they've only played one true road game all season. And it's also this. In fact, they've been a favorite at every game this year. They've been a favorite in all 12. One game, they were a 1-point favorite, and that happened to be the only true road game at Oklahoma. They lost by 22. So I think this is a difficult location for them, a hostile setting, and a slow-down style that they're not going to like here. So take a look at Mississippi State minus the 3.5. And once again, that goes earlier at 5 p.m. Eastern, Wednesday afternoon, evening.
So, Steve, I want to ask you about college basketball information right now. I personally have shut down a lot of most of my college hoops over the course of the last. There hasn't been much going, but for tonight's games, and of course, it would have been a full slate. Now it's about a half a slate with all the games being canceled. But one of the things that I was looking for was trying to find info on who's dealing with COVID and who isn't, and in the pro sports, you're finding that info. In the college sports, not so much. They don't have to report it the same way. How are you dealing with the does this team have COVID or not question in college basketball right now when that information isn't necessarily widely available?
You're exactly right. I mean, this is the problem with college sports is that they have the whole confidentiality, whatever it is for the student athlete, right? And our buddy Gabe Morency and I were talking about this on his late night show last night. I said, I have a sneaking suspicion that the two semifinal college football games won't have COVID issues this Friday, wink, wink, right? Or the NFL playoff games aren't going to have COVID issues because who knows who they're testing, who's really sick and who's not, because the NCAA does not release that information. So yet another reason why I wait until early afternoon if I'm going to release anything. And I think I've only had one college basketball play over the last week, Teddy. Number one combined the last 2 years at WagerTalk and college hoops, each of the last two seasons, 25-7 start last year. The first 2 months, I was only having about one play every other day. I've dialed it back a little bit this week for the reasons you mentioned. First of all, not a lot of games. And second of all, half have been canceled in the COVID issues. So I think you have to be extra careful. In the long run, that stuff's going to probably even out, though, right? I mean, sometimes you might get bit by it. Sometimes you might benefit from it. So I still handicap these games as I would a normal situation. One other thing I'll mention, though, is you can't really play the guessing game, but when one team has had it, and they come back, maybe it's a little less likely they get it again. That's something to look for in the NBA as well. Those handful of NBA teams that haven't had anything yet, you do get a little nervous betting them in advance. You almost feel like they're due to get some guys with positive tests.
Steve Merril joining us, everyone. And Steve, you mentioned Gabe Morency, and I forgot to tell Teddy, somebody in the comment section last week said, Prez, did you intern for Gabe Morency? So real quick, everybody, I started a sports handicap. No, I didn't. This is not. Shut up.
Oh, this isn't the night where you went to the Raptor game? And,
No.
Oh, okay,
I'm answering whether I interned for Gabe Morency. So I started a sports betting company in 1999. I sold it in 2007. It was a successful, excellent exit. I started a poker content company in 2005. I sold it in 2010. It was a successful, excellent exit. And then I started WagerTalk. All the while, I donated my time for free and interned under Gabe Morency. Yes, that is correct. I got him coffee. I fanned him while he spoke. and I pleaded with him to just make me better. No, I did not do that. I don't intern for anybody. With that said, Gabe's awesome. Love Gabe. Teddy, how does it feel interning for me?
Lousy. I couldn't imagine being your intern. It wouldn't be a whole lot of fun.
Nevada at Kansas, Steve Merril, minus 16.5, 157. Sounds like a high-scoring game is in the cards. How do we bet this one?
Yeah, you're right about the high score, and that's something I would look at here. The over would be the only way I play it, but it's a big total for a reason. But the other reason I wanted to talk about this game is both teams play fast. And, I talked about pace of play in that last one, slow versus fast. But as you guys know, another theme that I use a lot here on the show, and it's worked pretty well for us the last few weeks when I use these situations, is fast versus fast. Take the better team. Both Nevada and Kansas like up-tempo, full-court basketball. The difference, of course, is that Kansas has better athletes, and they do it better. And these are the type of games you look for. As is often the case with these games, when I sent it over, it was around 15.5 last night. It's now 17.5. So the early sharp money has agreed with my thesis in this one. But once again, I think the only way you play this one is the home favorite Kansas. Big win here. Nevada always has that thin air and altitude edge at home. They won't have that on the road here. They've played a pretty weak schedule so far as well. So I would side towards the over, but I think Kansas minus 17.5 is the safest play. They get a nice blowout win, and what should be a focus spot, even though it's a non-conference game, I think it'll be a focus spot for Kansas tonight at home.
Yeah, now the Wolfpack have been, a pretty good mid-major. Certainly one of the top teams in the Mountain West in recent seasons. A team that's been making runs at NCAA tournament berths. A team that's been making runs when they get into the big dance. It feels like this year's Nevada team is down a good notch or two, yet they're coming into this game playing their best basketball. They've won 5 in a row after a pretty ugly run in November, including a couple of neutral site wins. What's your take on the Wolfpack? Are they a bet against team moving forward, or are they a team with some hope?
I think they're a bet against tonight. I don't think maybe in general in the conference is going to be a bet against, because once again, that's a much weaker conference than the Big 12. And these are the type of teams I think sometimes you look to play against in non-conference games for that reason. I think that whole conference as a whole might be a little weaker this year. Obviously conference play starts for all these teams in January. The SEC has a big card tonight, as I mentioned. My CAA, William and Mary, by the way, they're going 0-12 ATS straight up going into their game tonight against Hofstra. I do think you look at conference action a little bit different. And with that being the case, I almost feel like this also might not be a focus spot for Nevada, actually more so than Kansas. I'll take a wait-and-see approach with Nevada, but I do agree, Teddy. I don't think they're quite as good maybe as their overall record and the recent results have indicated.
Awesome stuff, Steve. You got a promo to give out? We'll take care of that first, and then we're going to look at the Mayo Bowl. You sell yourself better than me. Go ahead.
Well, I learned it when I was interning for you. And by the way, you and Gabe Morency would be two of the best people on earth to be interns for. I'm dead serious about that. That would be a fun internship. You might not survive either one, but it would be fun trying to do so. Basketball has been great the last couple of years. As I mentioned, number one last year, number one this year in college hoops combined. Conference action, as I also mentioned, is starting as we speak tonight. All of January and February, the two best months to be playing college hoops. You get a month of college basketball right now, and you get a month of the NBA included for free, or vice versa. They're each $179. You get them both for $179, but you got to have promo code HOOPS179. It's a 2-for-1 special. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Both college and pro hoops for a full 30 days for half price. HOOPS179. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com.
Awesome. Steve, let's look at the Mayo Bowl, South Carolina, North Carolina, and I'll tell you, man, there's been some line moves for the last 2 weeks in this one. December 6th, the first line, -7. Then we went up to -8.5. The 17th, we got to 9. This morning, we got to 10. Now we're at 9.5. Wow. All over the map. But now we're at 9.5. So handicap it on that number, young man.
Yeah, well, no, you're exactly right about the move. And I was going to say, we haven't really seen 10. It's maybe tickled it, like you said, Prez. How do you like that? You didn't think I'd hear talking about tickling the points? Tickled the point spread, right? That's a new term. I'm going to phrase that. But yeah, I mean, 10's a really key number. There's about a 5% chance that a favorite wins a game by exactly 10 points, 4 to 5% chance on average. So I do like South Carolina in this spot. I talked about this on the college football show last week here on Wager Talk TV. And don't forget, All those shows are archived 24/7 right here on WagerTalk TV. We also touched upon the 2 national semifinal games on that show last week. So I highly recommend going back and checking the archive there. But one of the reasons I like South Carolina, a couple of reasons. First of all, SEC underdogs always catch my attention. They always make my short list in these non-conference games, even in the regular season, but especially in the bowls. They've been over a 70% play the last few seasons. My power ratings make this line about 7.5 range. So as you said, Prez, it did go from 5 up to 9.5. So it has crossed over, and I think the value is now with South Carolina, especially if you can get a +10 or more. By the way, this is an early kickoff. Goes at 11:30 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning on Thursday before we'll be back on the show here. So don't miss the Mayo Bowl. I love mayonnaise. I'm not sure about 11:30 a.m. mayonnaise, but still, this is the Duke's Mayo Bowl because it's in Charlotte, North Carolina. So both teams should travel really well here, a little bit of a border war. Mac Brown in North Carolina normally don't take – Mac Brown in general normally doesn't take bowl games too serious. The report is that he's taking this one very serious. I'll believe it when I see it, though. I'll still take the SEC dog here against a North Carolina team, which is great offensively, no doubt about that. But their defense is suspect, and North Carolina's been off for over a month. They haven't played since November 26th. I think the long layoffs sometimes hurt the high-profile offensive teams. If that's the case, we're getting a better defensive team here, getting more than a touchdown with South Carolina off the long layoff, focus spot, and we're getting some line value, especially if we get +10 or more. So take a look at the Gamecocks in this early kickoff Mayo Bowl Thursday morning.
So when it comes to the openers, and it's definitely worth talking about here for just a minute, I track 5 books for openers. Circa and Westgate and South Point here in Vegas, DraftKings back east, and the most prominent offshore out there. You talked about the 5 that opened. That was the prominent offshore, open 5. DraftKings open 7, South Point open 7.5, Westgate and Circa open 9 for this game. So we haven't all the money, Prez was talking about how it was gradually coming, and that's not really, this game's been sitting at 9.5, and it did bounce up to 10 briefly and back down to 9.5, but all the money came real early on the Tar Heels. Any idea why? Is this just North Carolina with their A game is better than South Carolina? Because normally when you see those type of moves early, that means they know someone's sitting out, they know someone's opting out, they know, they're trying to get ahead of that kind of stuff. And I didn't see all that for this game. Any idea what the money coming on the Tar Heels is seeing, Steve? Because it's certainly not public money that's driven this number up.
No, and by the way, this line opened at that prominent offshore, by the way, is the one sitting at 10 right now, which is interesting. So if you want to say there's definitely been some sharp money on North Carolina. The early money obviously betting on December 5th and December 6th, as you said, Teddy. That's not public money. That's sharp money coming in 3 weeks before a bowl game. And then the leading indicator offshore now is sitting at 10, while everyone else is 9.5. So, yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand why the sharp money is on North Carolina here. I like South Carolina. My power ratings also say this line is too high now. North Carolina is an explosive offensive team, but I think South Carolina is the better defensive team as a dog. So it's a little strange to me, and I doubt the sharp money knew something 3 weeks ago that we haven't heard about still, that hasn't trickled out. So somebody liked it. And as you know, Ted, obviously the early money, it doesn't take a lot to move these lines. The limits are usually pretty small in the openers. And those are ones that opened at 9. Basically, they'd opened 5, 6. It got to 7.5, 9, and then some others opened at that late that Sunday night or whenever it was on the 6th. But yeah, this has been an interesting line move, like you both said, and we'll see where it closes tomorrow. I would definitely wait. If you're going to play South Carolina, I'd wait and get a 10 because there's one out there already. Yeah. If it closes 9, 9.5, no skin off your back. But 10 is a really critical number.
Yeah, and not only that, the sports book that both of you didn't mention their name, but a prominent sports book. If they're at 10, it's heading to 10. Steve, quick.
That's why we call it a leading indicator book.
There you go.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Okay, well, I got more important stuff to say to Steve. It's about
Mayo. Talk about some TV shows.
No, it's about mayonnaise at 11:30 in the morning. Steve was like,
I knew I could get him in on that conversation.
So, Steve, I'm going to teach you a little trick. If you like scrambled eggs, put a very small amount of mayo in it. You won't taste the mayo, and it whips the eggs and fluffs them more. When you have $30 scrambled eggs at Caesars or wherever, the top chefs in the world always put a very small amount of mayo in the mix. It fluffs the eggs, makes it look visually more appetizing. Cooking cooking lessons from the Prez. What do you got to promote?
Well, I was going to say, first of all, I put a little bit of butter in the eggs, and mayonnaise is egg and butter, basically, right? So that makes a lot of sense, actually. And by the way, when we were on that college football show, Adam Trigger said he does not like any condiments. That really disappointed me because I am a big mayonnaise fan in general. Hey, look, football bowl season, half price still available at WagerTalk.com. No promo code needed. Another great promo. Buy 3 months, get 3 months for free. No promo code needed right now at WagerTalk as well. And if you want to keep that half price going, if you want to try 30 days of basketball, once again, college and pro, 30 days for half price, but you got to have promo code HOOPS179, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com.
Great work. Get the hell out of here. Teddy, get your chops ready. Your big game breakdown is coming. Guys, we got Drew Martin. He's going to take apart all the college basketball game, college football bowl games today. And also, I went 2-0 in the daily presidential address yesterday. I got 3 for you today. We need 21 more likes. Dan, cue up the commercial.
We know this business is loaded with competitors and copycats, and we are very proud and extremely excited to be one of, if not the premier sports betting information provider in North America. From a massive library of free picks and handicapping videos, daily shows, podcasts, and articles, our free live odds service, a team of the nation's finest sports handicappers supported with top-rated customer service, we pride ourselves on being the leaders in our industry, always looking to evolve and stay multiple steps ahead of our competitors. With that being said, we truly do want to let you know we appreciate your patronage. Moving forward, 7-day all-access packages will be reduced from $119 to just $99, and our 30-day all-access packages are also being slashed moving forward, going from $349 to under $10 a day at only $299. Our new pricing is already active and available just by going to your favorite handicappers homepage right now.
Time for today's big game breakdown. Let's talk some bowl action for tonight. That would be the Alamo Bowl. Alamo Bowl in San Antonio. Right now, looking at the WagerTalk live odds screen, I'm seeing the Oklahoma Sooners -7 just about everywhere. The total anywhere between 62 and 63.5, depending on where you're going to bet. And look, it's a weird game. All right. Both teams are going with interim head coaches. Bob Stoops on the Oklahoma side certainly gets more publicity than Brian McClendon does for Oregon. Then again, Brian McClendon for Oregon's got a better quote. Quote, this part of the year is about finishing. You have a clear opportunity to finish something that you started. You still have so much to play for. Unfortunately for McClendon, I'm not convinced that his team bought into that message. 17 players missing from the Oregon defense. That includes Kayvon Thibodeau, who could be the number 1 overall draft choice, Popo Amuve, Michael Wright, DJ James, Steve Stevens, Kean Ware-Hudson, all starters, and key reserves, Keith Brown, Aiden Jackson, Jackson LeDuc. We're not talking about guys who weren't on the field. We're talking about a bunch of guys who played all year for Oregon defensively. Where else is Oregon hurting? Wide receiver core. All right. You know, the 7-player team, 17 players on defense, they're also missing more than a dozen on offense, including the receiving core, leading Devin Williams announced a decision to turn pro. They're already down 3 starters. They have sophomore Chris Hudson with 29 catches, and then a couple of true freshmen. And then behind them, they got a couple of receivers that have combined for 11 career catches. With a mediocre quarterback in Brown, a defense that's depleted, an offense that doesn't have a receiving core. And basically, this is a road game for Oregon. I don't trust the Ducks to hang tough for 4 quarters tonight. If I'm playing, I'm laying Oklahoma or pass for this better. There's your big game breakdown, Prez. Back to you, my friend.
Why, thank you, Teddy. Got a lot of great comments about my mayo advice with the scrambled eggs. Jeffrey Moore mentioned use milk. You got to use milk anyway. It's milk and a little bit of mayo. Tomorrow, I will teach you how to cook a perfect burger. Drew Martin joining us. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, Prez. I can't wait for that. How to cook a perfect burger. I'm pretty good at cooking burgers myself, man. Maybe we need to have a little burger cook-off if you got some time.
Well, why don't I just tell you now one quick trick?
All right.
One quick trick. Real easy.
Only flip it once?
Put an ice cube on the top of the burger when cooking it, right from the very beginning. You put an ice cube right in the middle. As the burger cooks, the ice cube, which is on the top furthest away from the heat, will slowly melt into the burger, making it extra moist. There you go. Cooking with the Prez.
Yeah, in theory, I like that. I could see. Are there ever any problems? Like you put the ice cube on there, you close the grill, and next thing you know, the ice cube falls off and it causes a problem with the grill?
No. Zero. And the ice cube does fall off sometimes because it doesn't always melt fully. So when you flip, it falls off. But big whoop. But I'm telling you, Drew, put an ice cube on that burger when cooking it. It will be excellent. And Kyle Zimmerman, you're right about the cream cheese. Okay, cooking with the Prez has come to an end. Let's go. Bowl games today, brother. Maryland, Vatek. We have it's now -4 for Maryland. Total of 55. Where are we going in this one?
Yeah, I mean, Prez, you bring up the Terps, what they up to -4 now. So the market coming in here on Maryland, a team that was 1-7 against the spread to end the season in their last 8 games. Don't normally see that going into bowl season, but of course, there's a reason why for these two former ACC rivals here playing in Yankee Stadium. And guys, if you haven't seen what Virginia Tech is going to wear as their uniforms, just Google it, little Virginia Tech. It looks actually pretty cool. You might hate it. It's the New York Yankees symbol on their helmet. So, hey, it's that purple with the New York Yankees. Kind of unique. But either way, about the matchup on the field here, Virginia Tech is going to be without their quarterback, Brewmeister. He's entered the transfer portal. Of course, the coaching issues there at Virginia Tech going into bowl season kind of coming to the forefront as well. And that's really, in my opinion, what's moving this line, guys. Virginia Tech, their scoring offense was one of the worst in the country. And now without their quarterback, who I thought was actually pretty good athlete back there, kind of extending plays. But we'll see what happens. I mean, whenever you're near the 100s in terms of scoring offense, losing your quarterback isn't always the worst thing on the road in the world here. But on the road, both of these two teams under 500, both under 500 against the spread. So I think it's kind of a difficult handicap, one of these volatile handicaps. But overall, Prez, I agree with this line move. I think if you're going to bet it, Maryland is the side here. But at the same time, a team that was 1-7 against the spread in their last 8 games, I'm not exactly looking to buck that trend and put my money on them to win by margin. So a tough call here in the first bowl game.
Yeah, I'm with you, Drew. I guess being that you don't have a strong recommendation, I can't cross-examine you on who you like, because I don't have a strong recommendation here either. My basic premise, the handicap for this game seems to be the same from everyone I've talked to. Maryland's into it, but you don't trust Maryland to cover a number. Would you agree with that assessment as the basic assessment of this game? That's why the money's coming from the Terps, and Maryland's focused, Virginia Tech isn't, but the point spread might be a little bit high. In those spots, is this just another Western Michigan, Nevada game where one team's going to show and one team isn't? Or does Virginia Tech show up for this game?
It's kind of a tough question. Whenever it's like, hey, is this team going to show up, Teddy? And I know you know this, like, it's just a little bit of a volatile handicap in itself, because you're kind of trusting, what the articles you're reading, and do the authors really know what they're talking about? And then you're sitting here putting your money on somebody else's opinion. I always find that a little bit more difficult. And that's part of, handicapping bowl games overall, guys. So it kind of comes with the territory here. But I guess to answer your question, yeah, I would, if I was going to put a type of profile, a bet on this bowl game. Yeah, and you want motivation on your side, no doubt about it. In Maryland, talking about Loxley, and guys, if you don't know his backstory, he was the head coach for New Mexico, kind of stumbled around, didn't do a very good job as a head coach. was the defensive coordinator under Nick Saban, kind of, did the re-coaching college football coaching career under Saban, and now up in Maryland, he's a heck of a recruiter. So you got to think for this Maryland program, in the future, it looks good. And of course, Tua's little brother at the quarterback position. Now, I think kind of his name is a little bit more, giving them a little bit more kind of respect in the marketplace than I really feel like his talent on the field is. That's another thing here that worries me about getting on Maryland. I kind of worry that the money's coming in because of Tua's name at the quarterback position, and I really haven't seen all that much impressive stuff from him. But hey, we'll see. Could be a bounce back point here for Maryland, kind of, hitting the trampoline for next season. So kind of all adds up, Teddy. It's just not enough for me to kind of jump on this Terps train.
Mr. Martin joining us, everybody. And real quick, a bunch of chatter in the chat room about my cooking. Just one ice cube. When you flip it, you don't need the second ice cube. Tomorrow, Teddy, I'm going to teach you how to make a perfect steak. Clemson, they were -3 yesterday, -2.5 late last night. Now we got a -2 on the board. They're playing Iowa State, 44.5 on tap. I mean, I could see this game ending 3-0. Drew, where do we go in this one?
Yeah, college football bowl game under a 45 total here. Prez, without one of these two teams running the option, it's just kind of rarefied air. Handicapping this total overall. But guys, Clemson, they lose both of their coordinators going into a bowl game. That is, watch out. We get their offensive coordinator, Tony Elliott. He takes the head coaching job at Virginia. We get Brett Venables. He's gone to Oklahoma. So that always worries me if you're looking to bet Clemson here. Of course, a 9-3 team overall. They did finish the season very well, winning 4 of their last 5 against the spread. But overall, just 4-8 against the spread. So of late, they've played better football. They also ended against South Carolina, their in-state rival there, with a 30-0 win. So you got to think they're headed in the right direction. But we have seen so far in bowl season, some of these teams that are headed in the right direction to end the season with the break, then to restart. It hasn't always, continued into bowl season. So watch out for that on Clemson side. In Iowa State side here, Prez, we get this Cyclones team, one of the more disappointing kind of teams in college football, kind of like Clemson here. But the fact is, they lost a lot of close games. If the ball kind of bounced differently for Iowa State, this would be a lot different kind of conversation talking about the Cyclones. When you look at 4 of their losses, I mean, at Baylor, at West Virginia, at Texas Tech, at Oklahoma, all by 1 score. If they're able to turn the tide in those 4 games, hey, we might have a different theme here for the 7-5 Iowa State Cyclones. So, hey, Matt Campbell's been a good bet in bowl games. I kind of think wrong team's favored here. I really do. I know I'm in the minority. A lot of people liking how Clemson finished the season, but overall, I think Iowa State's the side. So I'll take the Cyclones. I got them +2, but always sprinkle a little bit here on the money line in bowl season when you're betting an underdog.
Let's talk total real quick on this one, Drew. Clemson's offense, which stunk for the first 2 months of the season, down the stretch, they scored 30-plus in each of their last 5 games, and they won them all. Iowa State's offense was hit and miss for extended stretches this season, but they, too, played much better offensive football down the stretch, culminating in that shootout win over TCU in their regular season finale. And yet, you talked about it. This total very low and extraordinarily low when you talk about a team, non-option team, teams that are going to throw the football, teams with decent quarterbacks like both of these 2 teams have. You playing over in this one? Do you lean over in this one? Or is this a total that you just don't want to touch?
Yeah, Teddy, it's a tough handicap here. I mean, in college football, it doesn't take a whole lot to get to 45, and Bryce Purdy, like you talked about, DJU, I'll call him the quarterback there for Clemson. You're right. I think that these 2 guys are good enough to get there, just kind of throwing the football around. Now, running back Breece Hall for Iowa State, their best player on offense is not going to be playing, so that hurts them offensively. But if you made me bet it, Teddy, a looser atmosphere, we get a A game set looks like 78 degrees in Orlando. Weather shouldn't be an issue. I would probably bet the over, but no, I haven't bet it personally.
Drew Martin joining us, everyone. You can find him at WagerTalk.com. And Drew, you do a bunch of shows. Do you want to tell us really quick about them?
Absolutely. Maybe here on Wager Talk Today going forward every now and again, if Prez and Teddy will have me. But NFL opening line report, guys, if you guys aren't watching it, Monday mornings, 10 a.m. Pacific time,
awesome show.
You're missing out. Also, twice a week on the college basketball show as well. And we got the hustle going Wednesdays and Saturdays now. Good new time slot, 11 a.m. Eastern time on Saturdays. The hustle. We get Chris Thurston, Adam Trigger, Kelly in Vegas, and usually a guest as well, joining us talking college basketball, college football, bowl games. So all of that on the Wager Talk YouTube channel. A lot of good stuff happening, guys.
Awesome stuff, Drew Martin. Listen, this show's like a mashup. You two talk sports, I talk cooking. Jeffrey Moore. You can roll your eyes till you're blue in the face, Teddy.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm rolling my eyes. I'm like, yes.
Okay. I'm not, dude, I'm used to you being a misery. Anyway, Jeffrey Moore points out, and I love Jeffrey Moore, one of my favorite guys in the chat room. He's like, oh, I can't wait to hear what the Canadian is going to tell the Texan about how to cook a perfect steak. What is Texas like got some kind of monopoly on perfect steak cooking? I'm going to go out on a limb and say they cook steak everywhere in every country, and Texans are not exactly they're not the most famous steak cookers on the planet. I mean, I'm sure the steak is good in Texas, but I'm going with Alberta is probably got as much cows running around their area as Texas has theirs. Anyway, Jeffrey, you stay tuned. Tomorrow, this Canadian will tell you how to cook a perfect steak. Drew, Teddy already took apart the Oklahoma-Oregon game. Minus 4.5 a few days ago, -7, -6, -6.5, now -7. Another game where the line's moving all over the place. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, talk about the coachless bowl here, the nightcap tonight in the Alamo Dome, 9:15 Eastern. Two 10-win teams. I guess that's something positive about this matchup. But both money burners overall below 500 against the spread, guys. All of their losses came away from home, so both of these two teams, would be like bet on at home. However, this, of course, in San Antonio, in the state of Texas, talking about good stakes. But look, Oklahoma, their only two losses were against Baylor and Oklahoma State. So when you start talking about resume, they have a really good resume. I think the Big 12 was a little bit underrated this year. Now they lose Spencer Rattler. I don't know if that really hurts them overall. Kind of seemed like he lost the job anyway. Their pass defense, not very good. One of the worst pass defenses in all of college football. Of course, going against a pretty good passing offenses there in the Big 12. Plus the fact that Oklahoma, they averaged over 5 yards per carry, which has been a bet on stat overall going into bowl season against the spread. Teams that can run the football have been good bets in bowl season. Maybe it has to do with the stoppage and then getting back going, on the defensive kind of rush defense, stopping that might have something to do with it. But going back a few years now, it has been a great bet. I think that points me enough towards Oklahoma. Plus the fact both of these two teams without their head coaches, Mario Cristobal, the way he left Oregon, I actually think was a little bit more strange than the way Lincoln Riley left Oklahoma, even though it seemed like ESPN and company kind of concentrated on Lincoln Riley leaving more. Mario Cristobal, if you guys remember, he went down to visit his sick mom in Miami, and then he said, oh, nothing to do about it. And then a week later, he's the University of Miami head coach. I thought that was kind of sketchy. I think that kind of leaves this locker room kind of wondering really what's up. So I agree with the line move, 4-7 here in the last, I think you said in the last couple of days, Prez.
Yeah.
I lean with it. So yeah, I would be on the Sooners if you were betting aside.
Awesome stuff, Drew. Anything quick to promote?
Yeah, we got the college football, college basketball package up, guys. Two of my best sports. College basketball, 5 straight years of profits. So you'll get all those plays, all college football as well. You could either do through January 10th. We got a special there, like more than 50% off, or what, the 3 months free, and then you get all that extra into what, the month of April. It's right there on my page. And you get all the plays. So college basketball, college football, and the NFL's been hot, Prez. I'm seeing it well in the league. So all 3 of those sports, guys, it's going really well. Last 30 days, top 3 at WagerTalk. So really happy with how things are going. Check it out.
Well, we love having you, man, and you can come on the show any time you want. And Drew, make sure to check out tomorrow's show. We're gonna have the cooking bowl. We're gonna handicap it. Okay, let's go. Daily presidential address. Man, that was a groovy song. One of our listeners, Yoshi, the Presidential Bowl. That's what we should have next year, the Presidential Bowl. Teddy and I scrapping it out on a field at the 50-yard line. Oh, please let that happen. I handicapped me at minus 1,200. Anyway, 3-0 in the presidential daily address on Friday. Didn't do one on Monday. A 2-0 yesterday. I'm on a 5-0 run. I got 3 plays for you guys. Just want to make mention. I am in action on the Pinstripe Bowl. So you can buy my play over at WagerTalk.com. I also have 2 NBA plays going tonight. I'm on a 4-1 NBA run, and I got an NHL total tonight. I'm on a 9-0 NHL total run, and I have been absolutely rolling through December. As for your free picks tonight, Washington Capitals over the total of 6 goals. I know we have some people out tonight in that game, but I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Nashville can score. Washington can score. Edmonton, under the total of 6.5 against St. Louis. Conceptually, you want to be playing Edmonton over the total on a regular basis, but Darnell Nurse is out. And if you go back and you look deep at the numbers in Edmonton, in the Edmonton games, they are going over the total more than they're not, but it's largely because of their power play. Darnell Nurse is the quarterback of their power play. Him out tonight will have a massive impact on that power play. Take under the total. And the Philadelphia Flyers over the total of 6. There's 3 totals for you guys. It's been an awesome show. Teddy, I will be eating mayonnaise in literally 5 minutes. Take us home, brother.
I'm so excited for your mayonnaise, Prez. I'm sure our audience is as well. Nobody else is going to eat Prez's mayonnaise. That's going to wrap it for the Wednesday edition of Wager Talk Today. Hope we gave you some good info. We'll do it again tomorrow. Same time, same channel. 9 a.m. here on the left coast, noon for you back east. Between now and then, enjoy the games and good luck.
WagerTalk continues to be an innovator in this industry, and our WagerBucks program is just one example. Because it's the holidays and we're feeling festive, we're giving you $100 worth of WagerBucks for only $49 using promo code WB49 at checkout. So how do they work? It's simple. You buy credits in bulk at a discounted rate and then apply them dollar for dollar towards your purchase. Use your purchase WagerBucks on $2 Tuesday, $9 packages on Monday. Buy your favorite 5% plays with or without the guarantee. Grab a 7-day all-access pass or even a 12-month package. That's right, purchase WagerBucks can be used on everything with no restrictions at both WagerTalk and SportsMemo.com. Due to the incredible savings, this special offer is limited to 1 per customer. From all of us here at WagerTalk, Sports Memo, and the Gold Sheet, we wish you a wonderful holiday season and a prosperous new year.